Hi, how's it going? My name's James Olsen. I'm the composer of the D-Day piece which you're currently learning for performance in June. And I've met some of you at the D-Day Story Museum in February. A lot of you I haven't met yet, but I will be meeting you soon. So I'm making this video and I'm also going to be releasing it as just like an audio file so that you can practice the music that I've written before we meet up. And it'll help you for your rehearsals as well if you've had a little listen to the music beforehand. Now, I should start off by saying I'm a composer. I'm not a singer, so I'm not going to be doing an amazing performance of this. This is just to give you a rough idea of what it's like so you can practice along with it. And if you're watching the video, you can watch this as many times as you like. If you've got the audio file, then you might be able to listen to it in the car or whatever you find useful. Okay, so you should all have a copy of the score, which looks something like this. Okay, and you will have noticed that I pop up in cartoon form from time to time with a few things to say. Here I am now in real life, or almost real life. So the first thing we do is on page 3, which is the first page. It is number 2 at the bottom of the page. You see it's called Most Secret. Now, often in this piece, there's a little orchestral introduction. We've got a big orchestra of wind, brass, percussion, a few double basses playing with us. So the orchestra often gives you a little introduction to give you an idea of the note that you need to come in on. Okay, so this starts like this. And that's your note there. Most secret. Most secret. Most secret. Okay, and you see that bit at the end there is loud stage whisper, I've said. So like a whisper, but nice and loud and clear. Great. Okay, so next is at the bottom of that page is number 3, which is called Attention. And as you may know, all the words in this are taken from interviews that I've done with the 2 veterans from D-Day, asking them questions myself and also asking questions which some of you came up when we met in February at the D-Day Museum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload another video soon where you see some of those interviews so you get an idea of the story of the piece, because there is a story behind it. Anyway, number 3, Attention. That's pronounced in the French way because the story is about when one of the veterans, and this is my grandpa actually, went to France as a child on a school holiday. The thing that happens in the story is that he ends up back in the same place at D-Day. And attention is a word that he hears there and learns. So it's pronounced attention, 4 syllables, attention. And again, you get an orchestral introduction and it goes like this. Attention, 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 attention. Then again. Attention, 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 attention. Okay, right, and then it continues. There's a bit of video. And then the next song is number 4, which is called Books Written for Boys Like Me. Okay? So, this starts again with an orchestral introduction. And that continues for a little bit. And then we get your first entry. So it goes like this. There were a lot of books written for boys like me, a lot of books written for boys like me, and papers and journals and magazines to fire up the desire to go to sea. what happens there is you go into what I've called Paintbrush Mode. Now, when we meet, I'm going to explain to you what Paintbrush Mode is. For now, you just need to know that's where we do Paintbrush Mode. So that continues for a little bit. And then we get the same music again, but this time it continues and does something slightly different, but it starts the same. Okay, right, so here we go. There were a lot of books written for boys like me, a lot of books written for boys like me, and papers and journals and magazines to fire up the desire to go to sea, upon which the country depended. A whole raft of young boys, wanted to go to sea, wanted to go to sea, to go to sea. Right, and then there's a little bit more narration. And then, letter G, at the bottom of page 9, it's the same music again. This time it's quieter, okay? Let's see if I can play it quietly, okay? There were a lot of books written for boys like me, a lot of books written for boys like me, and papers and journals and magazines to fire up the desire to go to sea. Great, excellent. So now we go on to page 11. Now page 11 is another one of these funny modes that I've mentioned. This one is called Ocean Mode, okay? Again, I will explain to you when we meet up what it involves, but for now you just need to learn a little bit of music, which we will then do some funny things with when we meet up in this Ocean Mode, okay? So this is page 11, and I will just play you, there's a little introduction, and then you sing the following. Okay, so the introduction is... And a life on the ocean wave, a home on the rolling deep, where the scattered water drave, and the winds their revels keep. Okay, very simple. Great. Now, bottom of page 11, we have number 6, which is called Pajamas and Waterproof Oilskins. This is all about the things that they wore at D-Day, and if you've already rehearsed this, you'll know that you gradually add a little bit more onto the song each time you sing it. Okay, so first of all, we get another introduction. The trumpet gives you the note. Okay, so it goes like this. Waterproof oilskins, as much warm kit as you could underneath, down to your pajamas. Okay, and then the second verse, as it were, goes... Life jacket, duffel coat, waterproof oilskins, as much warm kit as you could underneath, down to your pajamas. Okay, and then the third and final verse goes... Gloves, anti-flash helmet, a tin hat, life jacket, duffel coat, waterproof oilskins, as much warm kit as you could underneath, down to your pajamas. Okay. Glad I don't have to wear all that gear, I must say. Right, okay, I just get to wear a hoodie. Much easier for me. Right, number 7. So this is the bottom of that page, page 13. Corned beef sandwich and a mug of tea. So, again, you get a little introduction. And that is how we passed our days. Occasionally being given a corned beef sandwich. Occasionally, and a mug of tea, and a mug of tea. Occasionally, and a mug of tea. Okay, testing 1, 2. This is all working, it's all working, transmitting. Right, we're getting there, Right, okay, number 8, Tuba Mirum on page 16. So this is words that was taken from one of the questions that one of you guys asked, which was about how do you go to the toilet at D-Day, and well, you can figure out the rest. Do have a read through the words, by the way. Have you had a look at all the words? Some great stories here, and hopefully it'll be really interesting to come together when we're performing it in Portsmouth. When we come together in Portsmouth on the 7th of June, we're not just going to have you guys, the choir, which is going to be about 100 of you singing, and we're not just going to have the orchestra as well, which is going to be about 60, 70 orchestral musicians, but we're going to have a big screen as well, and we're going to have video, and when you see video in the script, that's because we're showing these clips of the video up there, so it's quite a big fun thing to have all together. Okay, so number 8, Tuba Miram. Again, you get an introduction, and it goes like this. I heard a phrase once which might amuse them, and it was told to me by a Royal Marine. What you have to do, what you have to do, what you have to do is learn to bake it and blow it out as steam. Okay, right, and then there's a bit more video where you get to see Jeffrey talk about that a little bit more, and then we'll sing it again. So I won't sing it again now, but you know how it goes. So page 18, I'm not going to bother to do this because there were a lot of books written about me. It's that music again, so you know that one. So now page 19, okay, this is number 11, and this is music very similar to the music we just did earlier on. This is Well Organised and Noisy, it's called. The keynote of everything to be simplicity. Let's have a cup of tea. Okay, the words for this, and also the Most Secret song at the beginning, and again when we have the keynote of everything to be simplicity at the end, these aren't actually from the D-Day veterans interviews. These are from a one-page sketch that General Montgomery did. So he was one of the generals in charge of D-Day. He sketched out the whole of D-Day on one piece of paper. I think that's pretty cool, right? To plan this enormous thing on one piece of paper. And the thing he wrote at the very bottom of the page, I've got it up here on my notice board actually, because this is where I'm planning it. This is the letter here. It says the keynote of everything to be simplicity. Okay, so that's where the title of this piece comes from. Right, now let's move on to page 20 and number 12, which is called Le Bombardement. What does that mean? Well, it's French and it means the bombardment, right? So this piece, you have lots of different things going on in the music. You have your music that I'm going to teach you now to sing, but the orchestra is not going to be helping you this time. Normally the orchestra helps you, but this time they're going to go against you and they're going to do lots of different things. So you're going to have to be really strong and learn to sing your bit without worrying. There'll be a little bit of help in the orchestra, but a lot of people in the orchestra are going to be doing lots of weird and wonderful things. So, okay, I'm not going to play much accompaniment here. I'm just going to play you the tune. You get a little introduction, and then it goes like this. Everyone delights to spend their summer holiday down beside the side of the silvery sea. And I'm no exception to the rule. In fact, if I'd my way, I'd reside by the side of the silvery sea. But when you're just a common or garden smith or Jones or Brown at business up in town, you've got to settle down. You save up all the money you can till summer comes around. Then away you go to a spot you know, where the cockle shells, and then quietly, the shells, 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 the cockle shells are found. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside, I do like to be beside the sea, I do like to stroll upon the prom, where the brass band plays tiddly-om, pom-pom. So just let me be beside the seaside, I'll be beside myself with glee. And there's lots of girls beside, I should like to be beside the seaside. Okay, so you cut off there, don't finish the song. As some of you will know, I didn't write that. It is by another composer, and it's called Oh, I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside. I have modified it in a couple of places. You'll have a think about where, maybe, that I've changed it. But I've incorporated that into my piece. So this is something composers sometimes do. They take other music and they build it into their music. Okay. Just remember, the way to remember the shells bit at the middle, they're from letter B at the top of page 21. Then away you go to a spot you know, where the cockle shells, the cockle shells. So you sing cockle shells twice, and then you sing the shells 8 times, okay? So then it goes, the shells, 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 and then you sing, the cockle shells are found. Okay, you can practice that with your teachers, but remember, twice for cockle shells and then 8 times for shells. Okay, great. Now, number 13 on page 22, we're near at the end now. This is the Atlantean music you had before, so I'm not going to do this again because it's exactly the same as before. Attention, attention. Okay, you know that one. So then we just do the last one, right, which is page 23, number 14. Let's have a cup of tea. Okay, and again, this is very similar music to what you've had before. The keynote of everything to be simplicity. Let's have a cup of tea, well organized and noisy. The keynote of everything to be simplicity. The keynote of everything to be simplicity. And that's it, that's all the music you need to learn for this piece. So good luck for your rehearsals, good luck for practicing a little bit at home, and I will see you sometime soon. I'm going to be coming down to rehearsals, as I said, and I'll be there in Portsmouth as well, where we put it all together with the orchestra. So very much looking forward to doing this with you guys. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and your parents are happy with you subscribing to the channel, because I'm documenting this whole project on here, and I do a vlog on Sunday nights, and as we put the piece together, I'll be coming down with my camera, and we'll be filming everything, so you'll be able to see how it all takes shape. I will also be doing a video where you can see the videos of the veterans answering these questions, so you can see the video that I got these words from, and then hopefully it'll all start kind of making sense and all start coming together. Okay, so that is it. Nice to meet you guys, see you soon, and yeah, over and out. Okay, that's it, bye-bye.